in the discussion.
Maanनीय Dr. Sasmit Patra.
Honorable Chairman, sir. Thank you so much, Deputy Chairman, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Sir, I welcome the Telecommunications Bill 2023. And, sir, the Telecommunication Bill 2023 was introduced in the Lok Sabha on December 18th and passed. It repeals the Indian Telegraph Act 1885, the Indian Wireless Telegraphy Act 1933, the Telegraph Wires Unlawful Possession Act 1950, and it also amends the Telecommunication Regulatory Authority of India Act 1997. Sir, the authorization for the telecom-related activities, it provides for prior authorization from the central government, requirements to provide telecommunication services, to establish, operate, maintain, or expand telecommunication networks, and to possess radio equipment, and that the existing licenses will continue to be valid for a period of their grant of 5 years, where the period is not specified. I think this is a very fair point that's being made by the Act, by the bill, and I support that. In terms of assignment of spectrum, spectrum would be assigned by auction except for specified uses where it is allocated on an administrative basis. This would include purposes such as national security and defense, disaster management, weather forecasting, transport, satellite services, etc. I think it is a very good move that is being made by the government through this bill to ensure that a natural resource like spectrum is being auctioned. I commend the Honourable Minister for that. In terms of powers of interception and search, messages of between two people may be intercepted, monitored based on certain grounds, which includes very specific prescribed grounds relating to the security of the state, prevention of incitement of offences, public order. And you know, sir, because we have many border states, we have cases where cross-border terrorism is very rampant, and therefore it's very essential that such things are there. My only request to Honourable Minister would be that what would be the role of the states in terms of this process, if during his answer he would provide, because then it would be much more easier for us to understand that between the centre and the state, how the powers and these interceptions and searches would work out. In terms of powers to specify standards that have been provided, the right of way for facility providers to seek a right of way over public or private property to establish telecom infrastructure has been provided for. It's a very good provision. Protection of users, Honourable Deputy Chairman, sir, and in this bill it's provided that prior consent, there'll be certain measures to protect users, which includes prior consent to receiving specified messages, such as advertising messages, creation of do not disturb registers, and mechanism to allow users to report malware or specified messages. I think this is the need of the hour, especially with the kind of messaging and the kind of malware that we see today. In terms of appointments to TRI, the bill amends the TRI Act to allow individuals with at least 30 years of professional experience to serve as the chairperson and at least 25 years in professional experience to serve as ministers. It actually enhances and escalates it to a much higher level. I believe this is a wonderful thing going forward. Digital Bharat Nidhi, it's a very wonderful proposal that has been made. The Universal Service Obligation Fund that was established under the 1885 Act to provide for telecom services in underserviced areas like the states of Odisha and others. Now the bill retains this provision, renames the fund as Digital Bharat Nidhi and allows it for the use for research and development. In terms of various offences and penalties, they have been specified. I've got only a minute to go, so I'll not dwell much on it, but specific provisions in terms of criminal and civil offences have been provided, such as if someone provides telecom services without authorization or gaining unauthorized access to a telecom network or data, it's a punishable with an imprisonment up to 3 years, a fine up to 2 crore rupees or both. I think this is a very important element in terms of providing punitive measures. And the amount that has been provided, it is a substantial amount. Usually we find in our laws, there are very feeble amounts that actually embolden such mischief mongers to actually find a lot of strength. But with this kind of a measure coming in, I think it's a very good step forward. Apart from that, breaching terms and conditions of authorization is punishable with a civil penalty up to 5 crore rupees. I think this is a very good step, because with this step, when you have up to 5 crore rupees, it is a huge burden for anyone who thinks once or twice to do some kind of mischief. Because usually you find in our laws, sometimes you find 1,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, and that unfortunately emboldens the wrongdoers. But with this kind of a punitive measure at this level, it will be very, very substantial. My time is over. I'll just conclude by saying that the regulatory sandbox provided under the bill, under clause 27, it provides regulatory sandboxes to stimulate innovation and technological advancement in telecommunications. I think this is mirroring the success of the Reserve Bank of India's sandbox in the fintech sector, where it actually significantly influenced payments, digital KYC, and financial inclusion. So this initiative will help to provide a controlled environment for companies to experiment with new technologies and services. It will facilitate risk management by allowing small-scale testing to identify and mitigate potential risks, will enhance the development of safer, more reliable technologies, and additionally, the sandbox setup aids in policy development by offering real-world data to shape effective regulations. Honorable Deputy Chairman, sir, I have completed very briefly the measures. It was a bill that had been there a long time coming, and I'm grateful to Honorable Minister Shri Ashwini Vaishnav ji for bringing this bill. It's a timely bill, and going forward, this bill was very much required. With these words, on behalf of my leader, Shri Naveen Patnaik ji, and my party, the Biju Janata Dal, we support the bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sasmit Patra ji. Manni Shri Sushil Kumar Modi ji.